friends, Cassie from Grace and Goals here. I am so excited to share with you the entire 2024 Powersheets collection and share my review with you. But before I do that, I have a pretty big announcement to make. Grace and Goals is now offering free discovery calls, more specifically 2024 Powersheets consults. If you would like to take a half an hour and chat with me about all things goal setting, Powersheets, and the entire 2024 collection, I would love to help you determine what you're going to buy on launch day. What's wonderful about the Cultivate shop is that there are so many ways to customize your goal setting so that you know for sure that you can tailor all of your products to your goals and how you want to do things. I do know that the challenge that comes with that at times is, well, not knowing exactly what to purchase. Not only have I personally reviewed and used every product, I have an extensive knowledge of the changes that have been made to the different types of Powersheets, to the planners, and all the intentional living tools. So I want to make sure that on launch day, you are confident in what you're getting and you know that nothing is going to end up sitting around unused because you have bought products that are going to fit your needs for your goals. And I'd also love to give you 10% off on launch day because who doesn't want coupons, right? So if you would like to book one of those calls, you can head to the caption of this YouTube video where I have the link for you to schedule. You could also head to my Instagram bio, official Cassie M. Nolan. It's in there as well. And if that's not working as well, I'll leave my email here and feel free to just email me and check in. I would love to talk all things Powersheets with you. But without further ado, I think it's time that we pull out the star of the show, the official 2024 Powersheets. If you know me, there is no surprise that I went with the gorgeous blooms for my 2024 cover. And I'm going to be really upfront and honest with you. I am not a fan of the color purple. Okay, so before anyone freaks out, okay, I know so many people have been waiting for more purple to be in the Powersheets collection, and I really am happy for you. You guys have waited so long. I'm happy to take a back seat and let this collection just be what so many fans of purple have been waiting for. But I will say I was really worried that ultimately these blooms here were going to be purple like magenta. I couldn't fully tell online, but I'm happy to report they are classic Cultivate pink. So if you are also maybe not the biggest fan of purple and you were eyeing these, but you were on the fence because of that, rest assured, you don't need to worry about that because ultimately they're pink. So I am in love with this. I just feel like it sparkles. It's great. But ultimately, the thing that I'm going to see most is the inside of my Powersheets. I really don't see my Powersheets cover until I display them the following year. So if maybe you are not loving some of the covers, just remember that inside is where the magic happens. And that's ultimately what you're going to see most often. Because if we can't see our attending list and we can't see our goals, then it's easier to forget about them. So just a little nod of encouragement there if you're feeling that way. And yay, this has some pink in the cover. So let's take a look inside. So there have been a couple pages that have been taken out as there have been additions made, which is something that happens every single year. And yes, before you even ask, I will be creating another PDF for the 2024 Powersheets so that you can cover up the example boxes if you want to. And it will add in a couple of the pages that I feel were really vital that weren't in here, or added prompts that I think would benefit you as you work on setting these goals and digging in. So all that being said, that will be released in November. Anyhow, you're going to love the fact that the tabs are back, and so is the color inside your prep work. Now, for the Cultivated Life categories, I'm very excited to announce that they have left one blank. Normally, it would be fun and recreation, but it's open so that ultimately you can choose what you want. If you want to keep that category in there, if you want to do your own thing, you have that ability. I'll share it in another video upcoming before the 2024 prep work begins, but ultimately, if you find that these categories don't fit your life, change them. I change the majority of my categories. I keep some, I take out others. I do what's going to work best for me because we're allowed to make our power sheets our own. So don't be afraid to do that. And there are some color changes to the category boxes, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Ultimately, a lot of things were brought back. Many people missed a beautiful page to put their 2024 word of the year, and that has been brought back. I also love that in the goal action planning pages, you have a little bit more structure here, so it's not just a blank page. You can still tape over it with wildcards and other things if you have goal action planning wildcards, whether they're from me or from Cultivate, but I like that in general there's more structure given here. I think that's way less intimidating than a blank page. Some of the other notable pieces to the 2024 Power Sheets that have changed a bit is the fact that every single quarter you get the opportunity to draft out what your dream schedule and routines would look like. If you could spend your time as intentionally as possible, what would it look like? You get the chance to map that out. This is in the season by season planners, and I'm so happy that they've added it to the Power Sheets goal planners themselves. And you'll get the opportunity again to refresh this every quarter. And if you flip to a new month, there's also some changes to the prep work. And again, these tabs, guys, all of them have a quote on the front and some gorgeous peonies on the back, and it's just the perfect place to tape in wild cards. It's going to look so, so pretty. Ultimately, each month you have the ability to quickly rate and check in to your Cultivated Life categories. I think that this is a great addition to our prep work for each month. Then you have your monthly calendar, which is also a tiny bit bigger. Then this is going to be the game changer, my friends. You have the tending list, which nothing has changed. Everything is exactly the same. But this page, you have a page each month dedicated to breaking down the goals in your tending list. It's right on the other side. I think this is going to be one of the biggest game changers. Being able to break down your goals and see them so that instead of just having your monthly goals listed, you can get really specific and invested in each one. And I think that that is just so, so wonderful. I think it's going to be a game changer for so many. I know that I normally have a million break-it-downs for all of my monthly goals, and now, at least for 6 of them, I will be able to have the majority of it all right here, which is really wonderful. So that's a great feature. And then for each refresh, you're going to have your Cultivated Life evaluation. These 2 pages are staying the same. You have your Keep Moving Forward page, and then we have a couple new additions. So you have the opportunity to refresh your routines. This is a new prep work page in the annual goal prep and for each quarter, where you get to kind of revise your routines and just kind of map them out, which is great. You have your refreshed goals. You have space to break those down. And if you do refresh and reset with me each quarter, this is where the wild cards go from those. And then again, you have another weekly rhythm where you get to map out what your most intentional schedule would be and work on living it out practically. And if you do have a season by season planner, you're not going to want to do both. That would be way too redundant. So I would just choose one or the other to put it in And if the blank page is really bothering you, put an X through it, tape a wildcard over it. But I don't think there's any reason to use two. And I know that at times we don't like leaving pages blank, but that's the official recommendation. So those are the changes to the 2024 Powersheets. In love, obsessed. I think it's going to be a fantastic year for Powersheet users, and I am so excited to see just how your goals grow and mine grow throughout the year, assuming that you choose the 1-year Powersheets. All right, I want to talk about the Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner. Okay, so we have the 90-day Powersheets Goal Planner and the Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner. Both of these Powersheets are 90 days, and they are both undated. The prep work is the same in both of them. There are only a handful of pages that are not included that are in the yearly. There's only, I think, 2 or 3 sections taken out because it's meant for a year and it's breaking things out throughout the year. And if you're using a goal planner for a quarter, you don't need to break out the year ahead, but the prep work is almost exactly the same other than a couple pieces, but you still have all of the prep work that is most important for that 90 days. And the biggest difference between the two is that in your 90-day Powersheets that are bound, you have a weekly spread. So I'm happy to show you what that looks like. You have a weekly spread with your tending list. That is the only difference between this 90-day and the Fresh Start Daily, is that you have weekly planning inside here, and then in the Fresh Start, you have daily planning pages. That's the only difference. The tending list is the same, the prep is the same, all of that. And then in your goal action plans, instead of it saying season 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're just going to see month 1, 2, and 3. So these are still updated. And again, other than a couple annual things, the prep work is the same. And then I'm happy to take you through a month. You can also add tabs, which is really nice. Each month you have an undated calendar. You have the same prep page that you would get. And then you have monthly action items, weekly. And in the Fresh Start Powersheets, you get to track your dailies each week. I think this is a game changer. If you're not sure about which one to go with, the thing that I like the most about the Fresh Start Goal Planner is that you can actively change those daily habits and goals. So you can change the intensity of them or just continue to change them as you develop and you grow. So I think this is one of my favorite features in the Fresh Start. And I use both the Fresh Start and the 1-year Powersheets. I use the Fresh Year for all of my business goals. I keep everything else separate, and I have loved this feature specifically. Each week you get to refresh for the week ahead, just like you would in a season by season planner. I absolutely love it. I think it's wonderful. We love it. So you have the entire month, and then you will still have a month in review page like you do in your yearly Powersheets, and then a new month begins. So that's a bit of a closer look at the Fresh Start. But are you ready to see the accessories? Let's start with the pouches. You know me, I am a sucker for a pouch. I have so many of Cultivate's pouches throughout the years. I use them all the time. I give them to people as gifts. They're just the best. But I was absolutely in love to see that the cover of my Powersheets is one of the 3 options you have for the carry-all pouch. And what's amazing is that these are bigger. Not only do these pouches fit both your Powersheets and your season by season planner, no matter which one you have. So if you're using a season by season with your Powersheets, it will all fit in one pouch, which is amazing. It is a little bigger than last year's. So you've got about an extra inch over here and an 1.5 inches on the side. It is just so helpful. to have that extra space. And it's great. It's great. Then you have the accessory pouch. And all of these are made from a fantastic washable material. So they're very durable. They are not linen like last year's. These are back to the pouches that we all know and love that we had all the years prior to 2023. So love that that's back. These are also a little bit bigger to give you some comparison. This is my linen from last year. And yes, I know I have way too many stickers. But ultimately, even with it flattened, you've gained about an inch and then a half inch on the side. So I feel like anytime we can make the pouches a little bit bigger, it just gives us the opportunity to fit more things into our pouches. And the sticker books, they fit so easily. There's so much room. You are not going to be struggling to get things in and out. You actually have almost a full inch to just have wiggle room. So that's fantastic. And then we have the pencil pouches. I love my pencil pouch from 2023, but I like, again, it's more durable. So it's not linen. I don't have to worry about pen getting on it and not being able to get it off. This is super easy to clean inside and out. I feel like these are also a bit bigger, which I like because I use a lot of like the Tombow brush pens, the dual brush pens, and these fit inside so nicely. And yeah, they fit easily. I don't have to fight with them to get them in and out. It works great. I will definitely be using my pencil pouch to hold my most used tending tapes, all of my color-coded pens, and probably also some bookmarks. And I don't have any worry about all of that stuff fitting in here and fitting very well. So that's the pencil pouch for this year. Now, I love a good pen. And I'm not going to lie, I'm very partial to the pens that I use, and I will be doing an updated video on this, but I even have a former video where I talk about all my pens and the specific things that I like to use. I like to use the Pilot Friction Day to Day and the Papermate Flares for inside my power sheets and the dual Tombow brush pens. Those are kind of my holy grail of pens, and I don't see myself changing too much, but I'm delighted to show you that Cultivate now has pens. They're so cute. They match the whole collection. They're gorgeous. They write very thin. The only thing that I think I'm not a huge fan of is that these here, this metal is like copper, whereas I have gold finished everything and the majority of Powersheet stuff is gold. But ultimately, I think they're really cute, and the PSP gals and I tried these out most recently, and overall, we liked how they wrote. I personally still think that I'm really partial to the pens that I use, and I don't know necessarily that I'll be changing, but I'll let the PSP gals at some point share their thoughts because everyone has a lot of thoughts because we're very into pens. So that's there. And then the tending tape. This is just always like my favorite part. I love just being able to accessorize my pages, my wildcards. Like having everything look beautiful isn't a necessity, but for me, it's motivating. I know that stickers and tending tape and color coding, for some people that is overwhelming, or it is just too colorful, too bright. Maybe it's just simply not your jam. You just want to kind of stay close to the basics, and that's totally fine. But for those who love to accessorize and match and make things extra beautiful, tending tape is a great way for everyone to do that. So there are 3 different sets of tending tape this year. You have the bright, the neutral, and a brand new one, Cultivated Life Evaluation category tape. So here you're going to see all of the different kinds of tape. Again, I'm going to just come out there and say it because this is my honest review. There are a couple I really love, but I'm not a huge fan of just purples and blues and cooler colors. So it wasn't like, I'm not going to say that this is my favorite set, but I will say I do think that they're beautiful together. I absolutely love these three here. I will be using them often. They even snuck in some confetti, some Cultivate Sprout confetti in these little ones here. I don't know about you, but I love the skinny tending tapes. They look so good. You can line a page with them. They're great. So that's there. We also have the neutrals. I'm really sad to see that these two are gray. I thought they were going to be white and gold like these here. They still look great, but just note that on the website they look a little bit more white, but they are not. They are gray undertones and lining that, but ultimately like so gorgeous. I don't know if you can, there's like gold foil even in here. It's just stunning. And then you have your Cultivated Life Evaluation colors. These are so bright and pretty. Even if you don't use these for specifically color coordinated for your categories or whatnot, they're just so bright and beautiful. And I will be lining every single page of my prep work with different skinny tape because I just think it's so pretty. So that is there, and I'll show you here. Same size as last year. I like to put all of my tapes inside these little washi tape holders that you can just get off of Amazon. I'll make sure to link them, but ultimately these are all of my favorites, the ones that I will be using the most and I'm looking forward to using the most. And then I have some of the other ones here. And then you have your Cultivated Life colors, and they're just so bright and beautiful. They're going to be a great addition no matter what you use them for. If you're using these tending tapes, if you find that you want to color coordinate, you can take your pens and put one around each so that you know exactly which pens match each category. That is honestly how I anticipate most people utilizing these, is to put around all your different pens, all your things, so that you never have to pick and go through and be like, oh, is this the green that matches? Is this not it? You've just taken all the work out of it because you've matched every single one. Now, obviously, if you have colors that aren't within these 8, then those won't have any, but it's still a wonderful way to map everything out. Now, as we speak about Cultivated Life category colors and we're thinking about color coding and all the things, I want to be able to share with you ultimately the changes that have been made about the colors, because that's always a big deal to many people in the community. So I'm going to just show you give you a good look at both of them so that you can see what the former year looked like compared to this year, and then we're going to talk about all those changes. All right, so this was last year's. These were the 2023 Powersheet colors. There are 8 Cultivated Life categories, but there are 10 colors to choose from. That gives you the opportunity to coordinate what you want your colors to be. You can always change them. You don't have to stay with the same colors that Cultivate uses. You have lots of opportunities to get creative. This is the 2024 colors here at the top. So the biggest change is that there is pretty much no blue. It's been replaced by a like periwinkle purple. And then the teal is a little bit brighter. It looked very similar before, but it is brighter this time around. The rest of the colors are the same, but the Cultivated Life category colors are the ones that you see here. So if you're looking to wonder which 8 they are, it's these 8. But again, you can absolutely change it. You can change your color coding. You can do whatever works best for you. And what I like to do to help myself color code is I literally just keep a sheet where I match like the dot sticker and my markers. So this is personally how I do things. So it's very easy to change the colors. So don't fret or worry. So if you are really in love with the 2023 colors, you can still get those sticker books and you can still get a color coding sticker book and it won't affect you at all. So that's really good news for those like me who are really partial to their colors and have no intention of changing them anytime soon. You're also going to see these colors on bookmarks, which are wonderful. Cultivate is leaning heavily into the Cultivated Life category colors, and it's making everything bright and beautiful and gorgeous. You also have a brand new accessory. This is a snap-in wildcard page. This fits in all of your different planners and power sheets. Now, you can't use snap-ins if you are using the 90-day bound power sheets, but you can use them if you're in the fresh start, the 1-year power sheets. You can also put these in your season by season, daily or weekly planners. What's great about these is that they aren't necessarily sticky notes, they're transparent. So you can use them as highlighters on your page. You can write on it with a Sharpie if you want. So I think that these are going to be great for us to tag our pages with. Then you have these sticker books. So ultimately, yes, there is the planner sticker book, which has gorgeous, gorgeous flowers and quotes. You have seasonal. I love that they have added way more options to these like time block stickers. You'll see some of the color changes reflection here. But ultimately, and then you get a second page of blooms and quotes because those are what most people use often. But the real showstopper is the goal setting sticker book, where you are going to find lots of new stickers. These are my favorite. Being able to, in my planner, be able to put in a Tending List Tuesday sticker for each Tending List Tuesday is wonderful, and they're enough for the entire year for one a week. So you don't have to pick and choose which weeks you're going to use a sticker because you can use one for every single week. You're going to also find that the gold is a little bit more cool toned than last year's gold, so it's just a little bit lighter. And again, you see your colors here. This is lighter, but lots of celebration stickers. I think all of these are great. You have your quotes, 2 pages of washi tape, and some blooms. So yeah, I'm in love. It's great. Now, following along with the Cultivated Life categories, one of the biggest goals in the 2024 collection is to help equip you to use these tools to the best of your abilities so that you can maximize your Power Sheets experience, so that you can make as much progress as possible for the timeline that you're looking to achieve. So last year, there was quick start guide where you had one for each category. It was very small. It was just an introduction. You had some goal ideas, some action item ideas, and some references. Well, this has been greatly updated. So if you're wondering if this is the exact same as last year's, it is not. These are like the Spark Notes version of what they've done with this. So each, I can pull out family because that was the one that I just showed you anyways. So you have your first starting page. You have a bunch of goal ideas. You have action item ideas, which keeps going. I mean, multiple pages. You have connection ideas. You have more like teaching and goal breakdown. Look, it keeps going. Goals for spouses. More resources. Further. Yeah, I told you. A lot of amazing changes are made here. So you have that for every single area. You also have added coaching on your goal setting. You have a quick refresher on types of goals. You have the bloom teaching again laid out, and you also have a few pages to help you learn how to break down your goals, and it's just so wonderful. So this covers every single cultivated life category and then some. It's just wonderful. So if you are wondering if these are different than last year, the answer is yes. And this is just such a great resource to have, especially if you find that you're not necessarily sure what action items, you could use to break down a goal. This is just such a wonderful resource, and it has been so greatly improved from last year. So I think you're going to love it. There's also more bookmarks. I have one that I'm already using, and I guess I forgot to put it back. But it's like a teal color that matches the fresh start. But ultimately, you have another set of magnetic bookmarks to add to your pages if you want to make sure that you have things tagged and marked so that you can go back to the pages of your prep work and in your power sheets that matter most to you. Now, I love to create wildcards. I love to use wildcards, but in the past, I haven't really had a personal need for a lot of the pre-printed wildcard pages, but that has absolutely changed this year around. You have so many packs of wildcards. You have home and spaces, family, health and wellness, business, and fan favorites. There are so many trackers and wildcards in all of these different bundles. Honestly, leave me a comment if you think that I should do a video where I just break down what's in each and every one of these, because that might be kind of fun. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know. But ultimately, there are resources in here and wildcards in here that you're not going to be able to just print off in Gold School. They're exclusive to these packs, and I personally think that my favorite pack out of all of them is either business or home and spaces, maybe health and wellness. They're all so good. They're all so good. So I encourage you to take a closer look at all of these, and you get so many per pack. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like 20 or 25. That is a lot of wildcards. So I would definitely, if you normally skip over the wildcard page packs, this is the year that I would wholeheartedly encourage you to take a minute to look through them, because they are so gorgeous, so new, so updated and fresh. Like, they will make you love wildcards again if you have gotten away from that. And again, you have tabs back in your power sheets, so you have places to tape them in. It's just wonderful. Now I'm ready to share with you the final pieces to this collection. They are the pieces to me that I feel like they are the biggest game changers. Oh, they're just so good. So, you know that I love a good snap-in. I'm all about a good snap-in. And we've had a couple of variations over the years. We now have bookmarks. We have wildcard pages to put in. There's lots of different options for snap-ins, but this to me just is going to change everything. So first off, look at this one. This is going to be the MVP if you use a season by season or a fresh start daily power sheets. This is going to be the game changer, because you don't necessarily have your tending list right in your face all the time, especially if you're in the fresh start. So being able to have a dashboard where you have virtually your tending list here, and you put down the things that need to get done that week from your tending list, you just actively can see it. And you just use the vis-a-vis wet erase markers, and you just put them on there so it's not going to stain your power sheets or rub off onto other pages. Like, give it a second to dry and then snap them in, you're good to go. And then you just later pull them out of your power sheets, erase them with some hot water, and then you're good to go. So I love this dashboard. For me, this is the MVP of the 2024 collection by far. I will say that I think that if you are only using the 1-year power sheets, I don't know that this is going to be a huge game changer for you, because if your tending list is always open, this isn't really necessary. So I will say that it's a conditional MVP. Then you have another Snap-in wet erase, and it's a weekly. I firmly believe that for those who, if you're into content creation and you are, or your marketing, have a lot of meetings, this is great. You can pop it right in, like with your tending list. So you almost have just a dashboard of your week. You could use this for meal planning. You could use this for just any type of weekly planning, especially if you don't use any like planners. Like if you don't use a season by season, weekly or daily planner, this would be a way to help take your power sheets to the next level and have this right with your tending list. You'll still be able to see your tending list. It is see-through, so you have lots of options. But again, this wet erase edition, both of these are amazing. They are my favorite. I think they are going to be a fan favorite for this collection for sure. And then last but not least, we have the Snap-in stencil. I am so excited about this. I cannot begin to express the joy and gratitude that I have as someone who loves straight lines and mapping everything out. This Snap-in stencil is perfect. It's Snap-in mainly so that you can store it, so that it's always in your power sheets. You can, or your season by season, you can just pull it out, either or. What's also unique that you may not know is that these check marks here, they line up perfectly with your tasks for the day. So if you desire perfect check marks every time, it lines up with all of your boxes in either the Fresh Start Daily or the season by season planners. So I think that that's just a really wonderful attention to detail, which Cultivate is so good at, and it's just going to be a game changer. So that is the 2024 collection. I hope that seeing this gives you some clarity as you're looking to determine what you're going to purchase on launch day. There are so many great bundles, so many offers, and yes, this year there will again be a freebie that you'll get if you order through my link with Cultivate, as a way of me saying thank you to you. And that will be happening and announced in a week or so. So I'll keep you posted, but it's a really good one this year. And along with that, again, if you would love to talk through these different options, talk through these different planners, talk through all of the different notepads that Cultivate has, and really customize your goal setting experience, I would love to be able to help you do that and pick out your 2024 order with you. And again, these are just free calls. They're just calls for us to chat and talk all things Power Sheets and make sure that you feel confident in your purchase for this upcoming year, because there are so many good things. And even as you heard me talking, like saying, okay, like this dashboard, if you're not using certain planners, probably won't be helpful. This one might be a huge game changer if there's a lot of pieces to this, and I would be more than happy to hear your ideas and share my thoughts and knowledge on the products with you, so that you can make the best decision possible and feel confident, not only in what you buy, but what you plan to use for 2024. So again, you can book those. The link is in the caption of this video. It's also in my Instagram bio, but you can always email me if you would like me to personally send you a link if you're having trouble finding it, and get that situated. There are slots already being taken. They're pre-scheduled. I only have a certain amount, and once they fill up, Like, that's it. I'm not going to have any more of them post launch. So I just want to make sure that if you're thinking about it, I would go ahead and save yourself a spot, because without it, I can't guarantee that there are going to be spots in a week or so, because they are already being taken. So I hope that this video is helpful. And again, please use my code to shop on launch day. If you type in Grace and Goals into your checkout, you can easily use that code there. But just clicking through my link personally on launch day, which is www.cultivatewhatmatters.com/graceandgoals, it will automatically apply it to your cart. You can still use your coupon if you have the $10 off from buying your season by season during launch week for that a couple weeks ago. All of that is in there. And again, everyone who purchases something on launch day through my link is going to get a freebie, and I'll be giving more information out on that next week when the following video comes out here. So I hope that you will ultimately like and subscribe, and I cannot wait to chat with you in the comments and hopefully see you at a 2024 Powersheets consult so that we can geek out over all this amazing, wonderful stuff together. And yes, there are still some spots open for coaching this Q4. So if you're looking into the Accountability Collective or Powersheets coaching or a Cultivated Life coaching, you can head to livingthechronicillnesslife.com/goals, and everything will be there for you to easily find and see. And I'll catch you later.